With the new Reddit thread open about the length of the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC, the Frozen Wilds, and very varied answers from everyone, I thought it was good to do a video on how long this DLC will probably be, with a time that Guerrilla Games shared as well. And I also have another interesting picture from the Frozen Wilds development that I have not shared before. But first, the length, the Frozen Wilds DLC will be over 10 hours, at least that's what Guerrilla Games said on their own website shortly after the announcement at E3 2017. Quote, the Frozen Wilds contains over 10 hours of additional content for Horizon Zero Dawn, including new storylines, characters and experiences in a beautiful but unforgiving new area, end quote. This was actually what was on the Guerrilla Games Horizon Zero Dawn page before they changed it. Right now it reads the Frozen Wilds contains additional content for Horizon Zero Dawn, so deleting the 10-hour part. Because I was in the theater of the Sony E3 2017 show when they announced the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC, so I did not see this post before it was deleted, but looking at the many places where this exact quote was shared, including the 10-hour part, I totally believe that this was legit. Meaning that, just like Herman Hulst, the managing director at Guerrilla Games, said, the DLC will be chunky and a good sized map. And we can of course expect something from a $20 expansion. And if we compare it to other open world RPGs like The Witcher 3's Blood and Wine expansion, for example, we see an average of 17 hours to complete the main story. And I'm not going to say that the Frozen Wilds should be that as well. Totally different games, but I think then that 10 hours is totally reasonable. You can of course think, why did they remove the 10 hours? Maybe because it's not 10 hours after all. Possible, but I think that this is not the case. They put this up on the page 5 months before the release of the Frozen Wilds, and of course things can change during development. And if you then already commit to a 10-hour or more expansion, then you can't really go lower than that. While it can be still the goal, things might change during development and it might be a 9-hour expansion or an 8-hour expansion. Looking at the fact that they put it up on their website in the first place, that we look at the price points, I really think that 10 hours is realistic, but they probably removed it because saying how long a DLC will be can only cause more damage than it helps. Like I already said, you commit to something while it's still in development, but also the playtime depends on a wild variety of things. One, it depends on the difficulty. For example, if I play the DLC on normal, it will take me less hours than on ultra hard. The amount of side content you do also comes into play, and of course your skill. If you kill the new machines in one try, then you will be faster done than someone that is bad at the game. I interviewed a lot of developers, and when I ask this question, it's always like, yeah, it depends on the playstyle, and it makes sense. So I don't expect that we will hear a time frame of how long the DLC will last. Maybe they will say like 7 till 10 hours, but not more than 10 hours, because if someone gets all the trophies in 8 hours, then people will get mad, while if it's 10 hours, then you will hear nobody, so you're not helping yourself. I also wanted to share another picture of the DLC development. I of course already shared it in another video. Here we see Victoria Kin, and she played Evie in Assassin's Creed Syndicate alongside Germani Langt, and I hope I pronounced her name right, that recently did some voice acting for the Friday the 13th game. This photo was on the Instagram of Victoria Kin, and it of course also shows Aloy herself, Ashley Birch, the voice of Aloy. And this shows once again that Aloy will potentially have 2 new girlfriends that will be a huge part of her journey. My guess is that they are Banuk hunters, and of course Banuk is the tribe that the DLC is centered around at. So maybe they will go hunting together, something like that. It will be interesting to see. There's another recent photo they posted in July and June when they were doing the motion capture and voice acting for Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wilds DLC, but I still thought it was interesting to share because I did not share this one before. And I just came across it like today, so I wanted to share it with you. When we know more about the DLC, I will let you know. I will be all over it, so of course subscribe to stay up to date on everything. We of course also know that there's a patch coming that will resolve the weapon buff. So yeah, when we know more, I will let you know. Like the video to support the channel. Thanks a lot for watching. I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.